Welcome back, folks, to the Weekly Dweeb. Topic 2 this week. Topic 2. Kev, there is a reported V for Vendetta TV series. And when we talked about this pre-show, I didn't tell you where. At HBO. Our friends at HBO possibly getting a V for Vendetta TV series. Variety reports that Peter Jackson, yes, that Peter Jackson, the one of Lord of the Rings fame, is writing an adaptation of the comic series with James Gunn and Peter Safran of DC fame, Ben Stevenson, and Wall to Wall Media's Leanne Klein, all executive producing. No other details are currently available on this project. This news just came out Monday, about an hour before we read this. Most people know V for Vendetta from the 2005 movie starring Hugo Weaving and Natalie Portman, which Kev found out and let me know that that movie was co-produced by Lana and Lily Wachowski, so it makes sense that Hugo Weaving is V in that movie. It's originally based on a graphic novel series that I have never read, but it's by Alan Moore, and Kev has a lot more information on that. So, Kev, please, thoughts, opinions, takes. I know you know more about Alan Moore than I do and his love for people adapting his stuff. His comics and graphic novels and such.
Alan Moore is right up there with Stephen King as far as having very strong and often negative opinions about film adaptations of his work. And as you can probably guess by this book that lives as a prop in my background,
I didn't even notice that right there. Yep.
Big fan of Alan Moore's work, although I will admit I have not read all of V for Vendetta. So in preparation for this, gives me a great excuse to go buy that one. So I'll be excited about it. Unlike Mr. Moore, who absolutely hated the 2005 film adaptation, thought that, for lack of a better term, that all of the nuance had been thrown out of the window. A more ambiguous story is in the comics, one where even the evil fascists are shown to have moments of being decent human beings. So it's more to show that gray area and not so good guy versus bad guy centric as the film sort of winds up.
The film was pretty good guy versus bad guy.
Yeah,
remember the 5th of November.
Which is odd, especially when you consider the kidnapping of Evie and all of that stuff. So I was excited to hear immediately that it was going to be an adaptation of the graphic novel, because sometimes with these IPs, the movie, especially in this case, you know, Alan Moore is a legend, and a lot of comic book fans are well aware of who he is, and a lot of film fans are now, just because of some of the other adaptations like Watchmen and stuff like that. But this is one where I could have seen them making a series that was more based directly off of the film, and maybe that will still be the case, but the fact that they said based on the comics is slightly encouraging, because that maybe it means we'll get a second chance. Now, I, for what it's worth, really liked the movie. It was just so happened that I watched the movie before I knew that the comic book was a thing. And so I have a perspective that some fans will never get, because they liked the comics first and were then disappointed by a movie that they didn't see. I know we all know how that feels. Anybody who likes reading anything that's been made to a movie has at least one of those. You're like, man, this missed the mark for me so much, and it's based on a story that I love so dearly. How did this happen? So for me, it's playing with house money. I hope to enjoy it, but I don't know. I'm gonna be pretty reserved when it comes to
not cautiously optimistic. You're just wait and see approach here.
Yeah, because there are some good names in there. James Gunn makes me want to get all conspiracy theory, because as we talked about pre-show, James, there is history of attempts at making V for Vendetta a TV show. Now I have to find this again somewhere, but
One is wild.
this was so weird. I
I
can't
saw this.
exactly find it, but
I've
at
got it in
one
front of
oh,
me.
you have it?
It
Okay,
is.
perfect.
So there was previously a V for Vendetta TV series they were trying to develop, and it was suggested as a sequel to the series Pennyworth about Bruce Wayne's butler Alfred in 1960s London.
And there it is.
But that show got canceled after its third season, and there was never a connection. And I'm like, what the like? Why would we do that? Why would we connect these two properties completely unrelated? Like, cuz that's like some suit in the boardroom's like, hey, what if
Wouldn't it be
we
cool?
did this? Wouldn't this be cool? God, they're
Many,
dumb.
many horrible ideas in creative endeavors have started with a
Yeah,
simple sentence. Wouldn't it be cool if?
correct. And it's no, the answer is no, it would not be. It would not be cool if. So don't.
the the road to hell is paved in wouldn't it be cools?
Right.
Um, so,
Wouldn't it
oh
be cool if?
man, that's what makes me nervous, James, because James Gunn, I think, has his hands full. He's got a pretty full plate at the very least
Yeah.
when it comes to being the whole big boss at DC.
Yeah.
So is he going to resist the urge? This is also going out on HBO Max, right? Do you remember what HBO did to the Space Jam legacy? They ruined a movie that didn't need a sequel, and then also kind of in a roundabout way just tarnished a bunch of successful IPs that they did own by having that game played in front of every character that Warner Brothers owns a right to, So I get a little nervous
I do
seeing
not
these
know that
things.
because I refuse to watch that movie and have the first one ruined for me.
Oh yeah,
So,
Pennywise is in the crowd. The Matrix guys are in the
oh my
crowd. I mean, you
god.
name it, you got it. Anything obviously Looney Tunes are a part of the game.
I did not know that.
All kinds of completely unrelated characters are in the audience for Space Jam 2. So sorry about the spoiler alert there, gang. But this is the company that would do something very dumb with this IP and try to
Yeah.
force it in, is because
Well,
Doomsday worked so well. What was it Doomsday Clock? Well, the Watchmen
yeah,
DC main crossover did not
and then they did
go super
well,
well.
they were the ones that made the sequel to Watchmen, remember? They made the TV show that's a sequel to it.
Oh,
Which
I'll never
it
forget
is
that.
actually like as a show, it's pretty solid, but it's not necessary at all.
Yes, it's agreed. Yep.
Like, it's
I
not
almost would have
necessary.
liked the show more if it weren't Watchmen, if it weren't a
If you
Watchmen
could have
tie.
just made it anything like its own thing, it'd been really fucking good.
Like if they just
But
made up their own Dr. Manhattan and then,
you just make
kind
it
of
some, yeah, like
whatever, just
yeah,
it's
but
there's
instead,
some
you
cool
got
elements,
Dr. Manhattan hiding in plain sight the whole time.
but it
Oh,
gets weird. And
bad, yeah.
like you said, most importantly, was not necessary. And there's a certain level of finality to the way Watchmen ends
Watchmen
that
was, yeah, yes,
you kind of don't want it to be continued. It's best left. Well,
yeah,
what do you think happened? Because it could go multiple ways. So when you bring in a show like that, that then jumps all those years into the future,
uh-huh,
it's fighting uphill the whole time
yep.
because it's already not a lot of people wanted that. And if they did they would have probably preferred to see the ultimate fallout from they would have wanted to see an immediate sequel, not like let's jump 30 years into the
Yeah,
future
it
and
was,
then do the
yeah.
sequel.
Well, it was, yeah, that's right. It was 30 years in this. It's so weird. It's 30 years in the sequel, but a bunch of shit happens in the past. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Yeah, like it happens in that city, and this is like the history of that city. Yeah, yeah. Could if it was its own thing, it would have been much better.
Yeah, I think
No.
there's another universe where that's one of my favorite shows just
That
because it
doesn't say
plagiarized
not
Watchmen
watch.
instead of
Yeah,
trying to be a part of it.
just took it. Yeah, and just changed the name. That's where when I saw this, I was like, oh, they're gonna make a V for Vendetta TV sequel to the movie. Is what I thought
No,
at
please
first,
no.
because that's exactly what I thought. I was like, oh, they'll just make a sequel to it, just like they did with Watchmen. And I was like, don't like that.
And that's like you had mentioned with the Watchmen show, I think in a lot of ways there's no need to revisit V for Vendetta unless you plan on doing a more faithful adaptation. Unless you, as the showrunners, editors, unless you agree with Alan Moore and say, hey, I think this movie kind of missed the mark and there are other elements to this story that we would like to present to an audience. To me, that's the only reason to do it, because otherwise there aren't major pacing issues with the movie. Works, right? It's not I never at any point of my viewing history with V for Vendetta found myself saying, man, I wish there had been more of that. Like it's pretty well wrapped up and everything. I guess some might have some curiosity as like what the future would have been for Evie, maybe. But to me, it worked. It was good. It was complete. It was a nice meal. I didn't want to reheat any leftovers. So I don't.
Yeah, we're good.
If you're just going to retell this story, but do it as a TV show, I guess, you can add more depth. Like we said, in the graphic novel, there's more nuance to these characters. Maybe there's some more developed side characters that you can relate to. I'm not saying it will be bad. I don't know if this is a good idea, James.
Yeah. Lukewarm. The reception is lukewarm. Maybe not cold, not even warm. Yeah. That's really all I can think of is you have more hours so you could spend more time. Like, I don't even remember any other characters in that movie except those two. I really don't remember, which is not like kind of the point, I suppose, is when you tell like there was no nuance in the other, they were just bad guy, which is fine.
You've got the BBC essentially. So you've got like the one main TV host that Evie works for. You've got the few different government officials, but then outside of that, it's mainly just the one detective. That's, he's sort of he's trying to catch V, but over time is maybe starting to also question his role within this government machine. And, he's the conflicted good guy who's still trying to catch the criminal, but, starting to see some of why the criminal's doing what he's doing. So, that character in particular, I can't remember the detective's name, but you could probably do some expanding upon that and maybe get in a little deeper with some other government officials, get more behind the scenes on the, so to speak, I guess, behind the scenes, not literally, of their one big leader. So I don't know. We shall see. I have a hard time picturing this story needing more than a couple hours to be told, but maybe they have some good ideas, and let's just do one season, I think, is my first.
It can't be more than it's a limited series, one-off season. That's it. Yeah, give me 8 episodes and call it good. No more than that.
Yeah, by season 3, there'd be just there'd be a Guy Fawkes army in control, and then the new rebellion is actually fighting the old rebels. There you go.
There we go again. Or you just do like Star Wars and just make the same movie again.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So they're back. Thank you guys for joining us. This has been topic 2 of the Weekly Dweeb this week. Please like, subscribe, share this. Help us get to 190. We got a couple live shows this week. We are reviewing Weapons. It's Wednesday night. And Kev and special guest Danny are returning. He's returning to the show Thursday as they review the 2nd season of Gen V. I was like, what movie? You put up the V, and I was like, what show of Gen V? I am going to be watching. I am not caught up, so I'm not joining, but they will be doing that. So please check those out as well. Topic 3 will be out Friday. So thank you guys for joining us. Until next time.